Hey y'all, it's Natalie, and today I am creating a page for Acrylic Stash Bus, the series that I do with my friends Nicole and Jessica and Jennifer, and they are linked down below. I started out with the Daydream Limitless kit by Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and I was kind of convinced I was going to use that first sunshine paper that I showed you at the beginning, and then I was like, you know what? No, they're all wearing sunglasses, and I couldn't make that sunshine paper work with my 3 circular photos, so I was like, nope, we're going to use the sunglasses. So I cut out the circular photos, and I fussy cut a few of the sunglasses, and this is a Pink Fresh Studio paper, and I'm kind of thinking this. I'm gonna have like 3 rows. I'm gonna have a row of texture pasted globes, I guess that is, from the stencil that also came in the Daydream Limitless kit, and I'm gonna have a row of the sunglasses and a row of photos. So I'm just kind of using my photos there to see how tall I would like to make my row of texture pasted globes. Now I am finding the center of my page to make sure that I don't have everything off center. So I have applied clear gesso to this white piece of cardstock. You can see like that shiny bit up at the top left is still drying a little bit, but I applied clear gesso, and now I'm going to use matte texture paste by Ranger. They were both by Ranger, and I'm going to create this row of globes. And so I'm not pulling it all the way through the stencil. I'm just going to use the circles, and I'm only using the single row. And then at the end here, I will add just a little bit at a top and a bottom so it doesn't look so uniform or no perfect edges, you know. So I'll just do like a little bit of a half of a globe there on the top and on the bottom as well. And then I'll allow that to dry, and then we'll use watercolors and watch the magic happen when it goes through all the grooves of the texture paste. So I'm going to add some water, and I'm going to use that Abandoned Coral Distress Oxide first and create a watercolor with it. And then I go in with the Nuvo watercolor powders, and they're beautiful. They are very pigmented, so pigmented. So I just used the tiniest little bit. And with the blue, at one point, I'm like, oh no, I added too much. But once I add enough water and soak it up with a paper towel, it's not too much, because normally I do love really bright and very pigmented colors, but I was kind of going for a pastel look here because the glasses are kind of pastel and everything. So just know those go a long way. So they're a great investment because you just use the tiniest bit. Like, see, I'm just like tapping the bottle with my finger a little tiny bit. And then I spritz it with the water. And I love like sometimes how the little individual powders will remain individual, I guess is the word. It's hard to say exactly, but they don't like basically get mixed in with water or with a brush. And so I really like the way that looks. And that is a really cool thing that you can do if you add it onto the texture paste before the texture paste dries. That it really is, like you get the individual granules of the color, which is cool. So I went ahead and just added in some pink with the same type of Nuvo powders because the pink had kind of faded away. And so I am going to go back in and add additional coral because I do want that like orangey color that is in a lot of those glasses as well. And it doesn't look like a hot mess right now, but just know that it dries really nice and pastel. And I wipe a lot of it up with the paper towel as well. And also a lot of it's going to be covered. See, it's so pretty. It's nice and pastel, which is the look I was going for. If I wanted it to be more pigmented, I would just layer up the colors and go again and do another one. So I just used that same, a couple of Distress Oxides to add in a little bit of splatter on top. And then I will let that sit and dry without rolling it up so much because I do want it to be a little bit more pigmented. So while I wait for that to dry, I'm just going to rough up the edges of all of my fussy cut glasses because I want them to kind of like have texture and come up off the page. I do end up sewing them actually, which gives them awesome texture. But I was having a time with my machine and I broke 2 needles. Can you believe it? There's something wrong. I think a little boy may have been messing with it. But luckily my husband is pretty handy, so he can help me out. So we'll have to figure out what's going down with that. Anyway, So this is kind of the idea I'm thinking. I'm going to put the glasses over here on the left. The Acrylic Stash Bustin comes in where that little glasses piece is from Not Just for Boys Kit Club, which is the kit club that I started with, but now I'm branching off. I'm using pieces that are not from the kit. So I'm going to stick it down onto the 6x6 paper that is also from that same collection. Actually, you know what? It's not from the same collection because the glasses paper is, I think, is from their spring collection, Flower Market. And this paper pad was, what is it called? It's called, it's something about sunshine. Hold on, it's like right here. Anyway, so I wanted it to kind of show the color behind it, and what is it called? This is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, it's right here, and it is called Sunshine on My Mind. That's their summer collection. So I popped up all the photos on some foam tape, and then I'm just barely putting a little bit of adhesive on the glasses to hold them to the paper, and then I'm gonna run them through my sewing machine. I'll do that off screen, thankfully, because I had a fight with it, like I said. So, but then I'll nestle that acrylic piece in between, and it'll be kind of like the title. And make sure to check the description box down below to see the links to the other ladies' awesome pages using their acrylics. So there I've sewn down the glasses, and now I'm just gonna spend some time cutting away the extra string. I do leave a little bit of a tail because I like that look, but also now I'm gonna lift them up off the page. So I've already roughed them up, but now I'm just gonna kind of lift them up so they have lots of good fun dimension and texture coming off of the page. And then we're just gonna do a little bit of embellishing, and we're gonna call it a layout. This is for our travel album for when we went on a cruise, but we went on the cruise on fall break. So all of the things that say summer, I'm very averse to using because it was not summer. Even though it felt like summer and it looks like summer, it was fall. So I'm not going to use things that say summer on them in this album, but I have plenty of summer pictures, of course. I'll have a layout up tomorrow that will be summer pictures that I just took. So I popped up the acrylic piece on some foam, and then I made one other piece of glasses that I want to use over there on the left to just kind of add cohesion to the page. Then I pulled out this like coastal simple stories chipboard sheet, and so I'm going to use a few pieces of it. And then I pulled out the Sunshine on My Mind collections that I got. Those are from A Cherry on Top, and so I'll link all down below with all these things. And so I'm going to combine it. So I wanted more pops of that like bright yellow because of the yellow sunglasses on the acrylic piece. So I wanted to create a visual triangle with those. So I'm roughing up the edges of that, and you can see that yellow twine. That yellow twine came from the kit from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. They always tie it up with awesome twine, and all their packaging is reusable in your layouts, which I love. So I pulled a few pieces of the chipboard off, and so that one says something like, "This is paradise." I really love the little sign that kind of gives you directions, because that's literally what the signs around Coco Key look like, and that's where these pictures were taken, were Coco Key on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Because I put gesso and texture paste, I definitely am going to use my Nuvo adhesive to make sure everything stays nice and stuck, because things don't like to stick to gesso. I did pop up that little tab on some foam tape as well, and the chipboard also. I'll link down below to affiliate links with for all of these things, the tape and everything. And I had pulled out like a floral to make the finishing triangle, right? Because I have the one on the top left and then the sunglasses on the right, and so I needed to make a little triangle. But the floral wasn't really doing it for me. I wasn't loving it, so I ended up going with something a little different. I found a plus sign, and I made it the right color, so it says Sun and Fun Times. Is the title over there. I don't know which one's the real title. It just says a couple of subtitles, I would say. So I'm gonna add in that little pineapple that's floating around my page. I'm trying to figure out where to add it, but I do like the idea of having 3 pieces from that chipboard sheet and also a visual triangle, so I'm going to add that under those sunglasses. I like that I could just like tuck it in a little bit since I popped up the sunglasses on foam tape. So I am just looking for the last yellow bit that I want to add to create a visual triangle with the yellow pieces. So I end up going with a cardstock die cut from Sunshine on My Mind instead of the acetate one, because it's a little more muted, and I could tuck it up under there really nicely. And I don't know, it was smaller too. And so I just wanted something small because I didn't really want to cover up all the background that I worked really hard on and I love. So that's it. We're going to call it a layout. Make sure to check out the other really talented ladies to see how they busted through some of their acrylic stash today. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions at all and check out the links down below. Bye, y'all.